guys, you guys were ready to say, where the hell is his audio? Where the hell and why the hell isn't the voice keeping up with the picture? I don't know. It's just the way it is. What do you expect from a big, stupid-looking idiot like me, man? So, did I tell you guys I cut the pipes? This is what's left of the ambush pipes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to replicate a pair of Frank Serano drag pipes. Case closed, hammer down, and it's still delaying. I don't know if it's going to delay like that, but on my end, everything's delayed. Everything I have broke. What do you expect? So, this is the, if you're looking at the right side of the engine, this is the left-hand pipe. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to have these shooting back. I'm going to have them angled just a little bit. Okay. Why is this goddamn thing delaying? Why is it doing that? Honest to God. You know, everything I have, guys, is either broke, damaged, or doesn't work. I'm waiting for this. This is the only thing I have that isn't damaged. I'm waiting for something to happen to this. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do is, boy, I tell you what, whatever the hell is wrong with my camera, man, is really getting on my damn nerves. It's like a stop and go, man. I hope you guys don't get a stop and go video. So I'm going to mount this on the bike. Then we're going to figure out at what angle these are going to look good, and I'll connect a Sharpie line, and then we'll do the other one, because the other one I want it to be this into the same kind of family looks. Okay, this will go in like that. And then what we're going to do is, if you ever seen Frank Serano drag pipes, they're slashed. They have a slash cut. We're not going to leave them like this. What I have to do is I have to tack weld these while those pipes are on the bike. And then we'll take the pipes off, we'll weld them up real good, and then we'll slash cut them. You know, it has to be a really pronounced slash cut. And naturally, these are going to come off, and these have to be ground down. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to finish the pipes without chrome plating them. I'm going to try to sand them down to a high luster. Maybe I'll get them chrome plated. Maybe I won't. I don't know. You know, around here, trying to get, I mean, there is chrome plating shops around here, but you know, they're either real backed up. They're backed up for like a month, maybe 2 months. And that's if they even know how to chrome plate exhaust pipes. That's how it is around here. So I just might be better off. I think I was a wasp that came here. I might be better off just sanding these down to a finer. And, you know, even if they're like a satin finish, I'll settle for that. But I think I can get them to a high luster. I could probably get them real close to a chrome look like this. Ooh, also, someone told me about the head spacing on my Century rifle. They claim, well, you know, these are all these people that they must have bought one of the older Centuries, and since they don't take care of their rifle, since they don't take care of their guns, probably blew up in their face. You know, these people, man, you don't understand, man. You have to know something about guns before you play with them. Okay, I used to be a marksman, and I used to, you know, a lot of you don't know almost nothing about me. I was a marksman when I was in my 20s, and I also reloaded for quite a while, so I know all about head spacing. Now, since my AKs aren't even fired yet, you can buy the head spacing. They're like, they almost look like a little cartridge, and they have a go, a no go, and then a field head spacer. But you could also measure that if your gun is new, like mine are. You could measure them with a micrometer. What you do is after you fire your first round, you save that cartridge and you take a measurement of it. And every 500th or every 1000th round, you measure the cartridge with your micrometer. And if your cartridge is getting longer, then that means your gun is starting to fail. But when I polished the cam inside my bolt, that actually helped the action of that be smoother. And I don't have any. I don't have any downfalls about buying the BFT-47 whatsoever. All the people that are trying to give it a bad name, they're all the people that don't own one. That BFT-47 is just as good as my Zastava. They're both made almost identically the same. The receivers are the same. The bolts are almost. You can't. Another thing, you can't interchange parts. So don't try that, guys. Don't try to interchange the bolts, because I think I said that in my one video, and I don't advise you to interchange parts whatsoever. But that's what you can do. That's what I'm going to do. Instead of buying the head spacing, I guess you can call them tools, the little headspace tools. You can do that with a micrometer. Basically that'll tell you if the gun's wearing down inside the shoulder, where the cartridge rests on, whether something's going on with your bolt, the guides that the bolt goes in on. It'll give you a notation. When I used to have a 300 Magnum, and I used to reload my 300 Magnum. Now that's a whole different story because that was a bolt action. I had a Model 70 heavy barrel 300 Magnum Winchester, and I used to hand load those rounds, and I made them so accurate. So I go to the range one day. I was using 180 grain boat tail Sierra bullets, and so I went to the range. I was shooting at, I think it was either 200 or 300 yards. I think it was 200 yards. I won't brag. I think it was 200 yards. So I shot 10 rounds at my target. And I had a scope on my rifle. My rifle also had a scope on it. And so I got my target, and I only had one hole. And I'm like, well, I couldn't have missed 9 rounds. I had one hole. It was in the center. It was in the bullseye. And the hole looked like it had a lot of powder burns around. I'm saying to myself, I could not have missed 9 rounds. So I set another target up. I went back. And I'm not shooting freehand. I'm shooting on a sandbag I made for my target shooting. And the gun scope, keep in mind. So I shot another 10 rounds. And I go to the target. After the range is all clear, I go get my target. And once again, I got one hole. One big burned hole. So that's a 30 caliber gun, 30 caliber round. The hole was probably about a little bit bigger than 30 caliber. So I deduced that all the rounds were going in one hole. That's how good I had my reloads. because when you make your rounds all the same grain weight of powder, they're going to all go almost at the exact same speed. They're going to all have the same trajectory, as long as there's no wind, which there wasn't any wind. And they were aftermarket. They were boat-tail bullets. They were specialized bullets I had, and they were all going in the same hole. But what I used to do is I used to fire form my cartridges. What that means is these were new cartridges I was using. So I would, with my 300 Winchester round, you fire it one time. I use them for up to 3 times. Now, after the first round, or no, wait, I might have used them 2 times. I think I used those dudes 2 times. So what fire forming means is when you fire the cartridge inside the rifle, the brass expands a little bit and it seats itself perfectly to the shoulders of the bore. So then when the gun fires, the bullet doesn't vibrate at all because the cartridge is a perfect fit inside that hole. So you don't have to, I didn't have to resize my cartridge through the dies because it was fire formed. That's a super accurate way of getting your bullets not, and what happens is they don't vibrate. Another thing I used to also do too is I would action my round. First I'd have this would be a primed round with powder in it. I put my bullet in. I put it in my hand, not all the way. I put it in my hand just enough to grab the cartridge, the neck of the cartridge. Then I would action the round into the gun, and once the bullet reached the lands inside the barrel, it would push the bullet in, and it would be a perfect fit. So and then I would crimp it. Then I would crimp the neck of the round on my crimper. So what that does is when the rounds fire, the bullet doesn't vibrate. Because some bullets, when you load them in your gun, they're not contacting the lands of the rifling. So that's why you do what I just said. If for target shooting, that way there, when you load your round, the bullet is seating on the rifling lands, so there's no least little bit vibration, and you get a super accurate. That's why all my rounds are going in one hole. So you guys that you automatically think that a person doesn't know this. You don't have any idea who's who. You don't know nothing about nobody. You don't know nothing about me. I've been there, done that. Whatever you dudes can come up with, I've done it already. Okay? Y'all ain't done nothing that I haven't done. Especially when it comes to guns. I used to be a marksman, bro. I reloaded for a long time. I reloaded my 300 Winchester Magnum. I reloaded my 357. I reloaded my 44 Magnum. I reloaded my 30-30. I reloaded my 30-06. I reloaded my 223 when I had my AR-15. Goes on and on. So this AK, the 7.62 times 39 millimeter, this ain't nothing new. But that's an easy way of checking your head spacing without spending money buying those little dies. Those little go, no go, and fuel dies. You can do it with a micrometer. You just have to keep track of it. And preferably have a gun you haven't fired. That way there you take a measurement of, it doesn't even have to be the first round. Maybe like one of the first 100 rounds. You grab one of those, you save it, you measure it with a micrometer, you take that reading down, you save that reading, put that reading in your book, and every 1,000 or maybe 1 every 500 rounds, you measure your case to see if there's any difference. So anyway, guys, with those, that's what I'm going to try to do, man. I'm going to try to replicate some Frank Serano. I'm gonna try to make a Frank Serano. I'm gonna try to make a Frankie Serano clone set of drag pipes. Yeah, so these have to go on the engine first. They'll be curled. They'll probably sit about like that. But I want to have them turned out just a little bit, because if they shoot straight back, they'll shoot straight back at the belt, and flames are going to probably come out of here. So these have to be turned out a little bit like that, and then we'll give them a big slash cut. And like I said, I think I could refinish these. Yeah, I think I could refinish them. I still might put exhaust wrap on these, maybe like going so far down. But the ends of these, I want these to be a high luster. So that's what my plan is. And this Sunday, I'm going to the Cafe Bike Racer Show in Swickley. I'm going to try to take some pictures and some videos of that. This time I'm going with a camera that has a good battery in it, guys. And so far, I'll be taking the bike over there. Yeah, this time we'll go there with a good battery. The thing about the Calf Racer Show is in Swickley. Swickley's a high, very high, well-to-do. I'll put it that way. It's a very well-to-do area, and I'm not even saying that because it's mostly all white Americans over there. There is black Americans over there as well, and it's not even a white and black American thing. There's all kind of races over there. There's Chinese immigrants over there. I think there's even some North Koreans. So, but the thing about Swickley is Swickley's it's like an upper class neighborhood. It's real safe to go there. Rankin isn't bad either, although you got to make sure you don't make a wrong turn in Rankin. When I go to the Glory Day show, I'm going to probably take my car and I'm going to take my dog. I'm not taking the bike there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I go there with, because I'm going to be taking the videos of the bikes or pictures of the bikes on there. So I may be better off just take my dog there. But like I said, the thing about Rankin is you make the wrong turn over there, you're going in gangland. So you got to watch where you go in Rankin. A lot of parts of Rankin are good, not all. Where Swickley is, all the parts of Swickley are good. But I want you guys to notice that I use the term Black Americans because I have the utmost respect for the black people, because I grew up with them, and that's what they prefer to be pronounced as. Just like with me, I'm not Italian. I have an Italian. My people are Italian. I'm not Italian. I was born here in America. The same thing with the black people. Their people are from Africa. Well, they weren't born in Africa. They were born here. They're Black Americans. I prefer to be called American Italian, but people don't call me American Italian. People spit all over Italian people to this day. So they spit all over anyone that's Italian, man. I prefer. So I know. I know what black people are talking about. I know what Black Americans are talking about, because I feel the exact same way. I'm a minority also, just like the people on the street here. They look down on us because they know we're Italian. And they disrespect us on this street, and they have since I moved here. You know, we've been on this street here since 1982, and they have disrespected us the entire time we've been here. You know, me being a minority, I'm allowed to talk about it. The minority, I have a minority pass. Okay, the Black American people, they actually gave me a pass. They sent me a pass in the mail saying you are permitted to talk about us as long as it is in a respectful way. I'll have to show you guys the pass one day. I have a Black American pass where I'm allowed to talk about Black people, Black Americans. So, all right, guys. Yeah, so we're going to try to replicate a set of Frank Serano drag pipes. Because, I ain't shelling out $1,200, brother, for a pair of exhaust pipes. I don't have that kind of money. And I just reserved a cottage for next year in Outer Banks. That's going to take about $2,500 from me. I don't have. And speaking of money, I still haven't gotten on one duck plucking, self-entitled person from the Pittsburgh area that has even made me an offer and a bite. So it's probably not going to sell. And I don't, you know what, man? They're not hurting the homes here. They're not hurting homes. They're not hurting me. Their loss. It's their loss, not mine.